Good morning, guys. How is everybody doing? Just hopping on here to do a part two of what I started yesterday. Let me turn the camera around and I will introduce myself. Hello. Hello. Hey, Bethany. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Selena. Hi, guys. So, yesterday I started talking to you about anger and three perspectives on anger that have helped me to process some of those feelings. Yesterday we talked about love, that our anger tells us, oh, yeah, you know what? People keep saying I need to get a Voxer account. So I do. I need to get a Voxer account. Yesterday I talked about how what makes us angry tells us something about what we love. So let me introduce myself and then I'll tell you what I have for you today. My name is Lynna Sutherland. I'm homeschool mom to 7. 4 of them are school age right now. The other 3 are baby, toddler, preschool size. Oh, thank you, Bethany. This group is such a fantastic group to be a part of, which, by the way, if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, Bethany and I and several of the other folks on here are members of a group called homeschoolscopes.tv. If you type that in your browser, homeschoolscopes.tv, it'll take you right to a Facebook group that you can join. It is a super wonderful, supportive, encouraging group of homeschool moms on Facebook that do scopes or Facebook Live broadcasts to just share ideas, encourage each other, that kind of thing. So, all right, you can find me online. I blog at Homeschooling Without Training Wheels, hswotrainingwheels.com, or if you want to find me on, say, Facebook or Instagram, same handle as my Periscope handle. It's just hswo training wheels. My favorite place to hang out is Instagram. I also have a Facebook page where I share just stuff, whatever's interesting. I usually post my scopes up there too. So if you want to dialogue after the scope, then the Facebook page can be a good way to do that. So today, what I'd like to talk to you about with regards to anger is that it's been helpful to me to think about when my anger stems from what I feel like I deserve. And to ask myself, what is it that I think I deserve that I'm not getting? And, one of the things that I feel like I struggle with in that way is when my children aren't behaving and I'm saying to myself in my mind, I have trained them on this, or we have worked so hard, or I have explained this to them, or we have a system in place, or there's a reason why we have rules about this. And what I'm feeling like in my mind, in my heart, is that I'm not getting what I deserve, right? I've put in a certain amount and I'm not getting a fair return on my investment. I'm not getting what I deserve to get based on the work that I've put in. And this was especially brought to my mind when I was dealing with postpartum depression after my 5th child. And I was completely exhausted. I would spend a lot of time just laying on the floor in the opening between the schoolroom and the kitchen, just so that the kids could play and they couldn't escape without me being aware of it. And so obviously it was a hard time. And, I had 5 children. One of them was a baby. I was homeschooling, and I just kind of had this feeling like, hey, I'm doing really good stuff for God, and I shouldn't be getting out of this what I'm getting out of this. I've put in some good work, and I'm not getting what I deserve. A mom who is like serving the Lord so faithfully shouldn't be having to deal with postpartum depression. So obviously you can, maybe think about what was a little bit off about my thinking, but that's something that I've had to process a lot. And it was honestly kind of shocking and surprising to me that I had those feelings, that I had those reactions, because I wouldn't have said ahead of time that I was, having children or homeschooling them or anything like that to kind of earn rewards from God. I wouldn't have said I'm doing these things so that I can get extra credit or bonus points or something, but apparently that had just crept into my thinking over time, such that I felt like I deserved certain things that I wasn't getting, which led to anger. And so here are some thoughts that I've processed since then. And again, I don't mean to say that this is, cured the problem or that I don't struggle with this anymore, but these are things that are helpful for me when I process these ideas. One is that I'm privileged just to have a relationship with my Heavenly Father. Even just having that relationship is a privilege far beyond what I could demand or say that I have a right to. And if that relationship, as a father to his child, comes with some training opportunities, then I don't need to be, upset about that. I don't need to become angry and irritated that there are some training opportunities that come along with that relationship with my father, right? And one of the things that it has reminded me about is that, I sometimes feel irritated that I have to deal with the same struggles, right? This child is always slow to work every time. They're always slow to get their work done. This child gets angry so quickly. Can't imagine where she got that from. But, so I see the same struggles happening in my children, even though we work on it, even though I'm praying about it, even though we've had lots of conversations about it, they're still having the same struggles, right? And so I feel like this isn't fair. I don't deserve this. But here's the thing. My children and my husband live with somebody who struggles every day with the same things. Me. And so oftentimes when I am becoming angry about the struggles of theirs that I have to deal with over and over and over and over, it's because I've done a pretty good job of kind of whitewashing over my struggles that I do every day or frequently that they have to deal with, right? So when I'm saying to myself, I don't deserve to have to deal with this, it's probably because I've gotten a kind of high horse, grandiose view of myself. And I've failed to recognize that, I can be difficult to live with too. So it's a little bit arrogant of me to say, I'm going to struggle, but I shouldn't have to deal with other people's struggles. They should be patient and kind and understanding with me, and they should just get that this is my struggle, and I have a weakness in this area. But yet, their struggles are just irritating, and why can't they stop doing that? And another thing that I've really been convicted of recently is that sometimes the Lord allows us to experience these things that just seem like so unnecessary and, why should I have to deal with this as a part of our learning, as a part of our growth. So for example, a couple weeks ago, my husband came home from work one day and, I don't know, he was tired or he had a really difficult day at work or something. And he was being kind of critical and harsh, and I could just feel my hackles rising like, what? This is not cool. You should not be treating me this way. You should not be, critical about everything I do. You shouldn't be. And it just occurred to me, and I really think that this was the Lord just kind of saying, shh, just listen. Because it occurred to me, you know what? This is probably what my children feel like when I'm on edge. And when I'm, just quick to be critical about everything and quick to find fault and quick to say, you should have known better and not give them the benefit of the doubt, or that maybe there was a misunderstanding, or that maybe they tried their best and this was the best that they could do. And so, I think that the Lord gives us opportunities to experience other people's, unkindness against us because honestly, he's giving us a taste of our own medicine. And that's not to say that it excuses other people's kindness. Right. We all need grace. We really do. And sometimes we're really good about giving grace to ourselves or expecting others to extend grace to us and not as quick to kind of flip it around and do the same thing for others. But I think sometimes on the days when we are most aware of our own struggles, hopefully those are the days where we can be the best at, turning it around and extending that same grace to others. So our pastor loves to say, what is the worst thing that God could do to you? And his answer is the worst thing that God could do to you is that he could leave you alone. And what he means by that is, sometimes we think, I'm going through this struggle or this suffering or something and it's just too much and, I just wish it would back off. But his point is just that God doesn't leave us alone to just kind of stagnate where we are. And even if it's not something we understand from our perspective, why am I having to deal with this? Why do I have a child who struggles with anger? Why do I have a child who always takes so long to accomplish anything? I don't know. I don't know the ultimate answer to those things. But I do know that God is using those things to train me in how to love other people, how to be gracious with others, how to extend grace to others in the midst of their struggles, how to see things from other people's perspectives, how to learn to think the best and give the benefit of the doubt rather than jump to conclusions, right? I'm learning a ton. And I'm not the designer of the curriculum. I don't have the whole syllabus. All I know is that these are the things that he has for me to work on today, and that it really defeats the purpose if I spend all my time saying, well, I don't deserve this, and I shouldn't have to learn this lesson, and I don't want to have to deal with this today, because then in the end, what I wind up doing is I wind up putting a big old distraction in front of my children about what they have in front of them that they need to be working on, right? If I have a child who's working slowly, and I get harsh with her, well, guess what? She's going to have a really hard time focusing on, I really should be a more diligent worker. It really would be better to the family if I did this. No, for how to say the right thing. That wasn't really what I was going for. But as I thought about it more yesterday, I thought, yes, these are more strategies that I use to process kind of after the fact, or in general, why am I angry? Why do I have these angry feelings? But honestly, doing that work and doing that processing and asking myself those questions about anger does overall, and in the long run, have the effect of helping me to do better in the moment and on the ground at the particular time. So I don't want to make it sound like these are just theoretical exercises that have no impact on my day-to-day interactions with my kids. I just wanted to say that they weren't necessarily like in the moment tips and tricks. It was more just the processing of the uncovering of the reasons behind our anger, and how I've found helpful to kind of work through some of those cause and effect kind of things. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Never can stop the broadcast.